Hi everybody. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about music today. What I do in my class is I found that my students, they come into class, their heads are down, they're looking at the ground, they have their headphones on, they're on their cell phones, and they really don't care about getting to know each other, and they really don't care about listening to me. Okay, this is just kind of the digital age that we live in right now. And so when I became a new teacher, my department chair handed me a textbook. He said, "This is your textbook, go teach." That was all the teacher training that I got. And so I thought, you know, I've had some really, really good teachers, and I've had some really, really bad teachers. And so what do I want to do? Well, what I want to do is I want to motivate my students to learn about economics, and I want to use popular media to do that because I don't have a lot of hobbies. I'm not like a big runner or anything. I'm kind of indoorsy. And so what I wanted to do was do the things that I like. I like to watch reality TV. I like to listen to music. I like to go to the movies, right? And I like to use social media. So I wanted to find a way to integrate what I'm already doing and what my students are already doing and make it about economics. So I'm just going to hijack their stuff. And so every time they hear all about that base, right, they're going to think about economics instead. So that's kind of my game plan. All right. So I also think that when we do these creative type projects, it takes students to a whole nother level. So if you like the Bloom's taxonomy stuff, you know that creativity is at the very top, or creating new content. And so it makes them take the stuff that they've memorized and learned, and it takes the stuff that they have put into their long-term memory, and it makes it very real to them. Okay, so what happens is I have students who 3 and 4 years later come back to me and say, "I still remember such and such from your economics class because I remember that song that went with it." First, we have to kind of think about where our students are. So I survey my students every semester. I teach about 250 students a semester, and I ask them, what social media are you using? So what I focus on in my class is we use a lot of Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. To kind of go into the music project, first I have to get students a little bit comfortable with doing things that are different. So I teach in a very different way than the other people at my university, and so I have to kind of break them out of the mold a little bit. So I do a lot of extra credit projects with them to get them started. So we do things like econ selfies. So maybe if you've been to some other econ conferences, we present on this, and we have them take a picture of themselves that's about economics and relate it and use the hashtag #econselfie, so it allows us to go out and find it and grade it. I have them do Econ Center, which is where I have them read an article about sports economics. They go out and find an example of sports economics in the real world, preferably at one of our university-sponsored sporting events, and they take a picture and send it to me. Have them find ads, popular commercials. You can find them on YouTube, or you can find them, there's lots of little websites where you can find commercials, and tell me what it's about. Tell me either the article or the video ad, and make it about economics. So this just kind of gets them thinking. It's kind of prep work for our end of semester project. We also do things like writing economic limericks or economic poetry. I prefer the limericks because it's 4 lines, and when I ask for poetry, I get 2 pages of prose about their love of economics, and it takes longer to grade. So, so we do poetry, we do our economic memes, which are a lot of fun, and we also do everyday econ. Go out and find an example of economics in the real world. These are like art projects in economics that have been done. We've done infographics, we have more memes here, and then I hit my first real assignment. They have to type up a discussion post. They have to find some type of popular media, so they can use television shows, video games, a movie or a song. I even had somebody ask if they could do a book, like a piece of literature. So anything's fair game. They have to write up a brief synopsis of 1 to 2 sentences maximum to just tell me, you know, what it's about, right? So if it's a show that I've never seen before or haven't gotten to yet, then they tell me what it's about. They identify 3 economic concepts, and then they have to support those economic concepts with content from the video game, television show, movie, or song. And then they have to do a presentation in class. The presentation in class, the only rule is you can't put me to sleep. So for example, I had a student who did a Beyonce song. The song's called I'm Leaving. This is kind of before she got famous. And it's really about a person who is having an affair with a married man, and she's trying to figure out if she should leave this guy and go find somebody else, okay? So what would you guess is the economic concept that they probably pulled out of it? Choices was the first one, right? The economics is all about choices. It's all about scarcity. There's only so many men in the world, and there's only one Beyonce, right? And so what's she going to do? She's struggling with choosing between these two things. All right, so then I try to prepare them for our second assignment. Now, our second assignment is called Rockonomix, and it's really, the best way I can explain it is that it's Weird Al Yankovic meets Schoolhouse Rock. And so what I ask my students to do is to make an economic music video parody. Take a popular song, rewrite the lyrics, make it about economics, and shoot a music video. Okay, this is their end project. They do it in groups, so it allows them to specialize and do what they do best, and it makes it a little easier for them because they get a little intimidated when they hear this on the first day of class. I give them some rules. There's a couple little rules. Keep it classy. Keep your clothes on. Don't show yourself, smoking and drinking or doing any illegal drugs. My father, who's a former minister, should be able to watch it. I should be able to show it in class. Okay, and I found that it's really important to put that rule in there, okay? The other things are things like make sure your lyrics are shown on the screen and make sure that I can read them, because sometimes, particularly if it's a rap and it's really fast, you're not exactly sure what they're saying. It has to be clearly about economics. You have to actually sing to music. Unless you can sing in 4-part harmony, then we can negotiate. It has to be posted on YouTube, and you have to send me the video. So I normally accept it on a USB drive or Dropbox or Google Drive, something like that. And we have deadlines and certain hashtags that I want them to use, or tags in YouTube that I want them to use to help me be able to find it. Okay, so I put a little structure in because I'm teaching these 200 and 250 students, and I want to make sure that the accepting of the project on my end is as smooth as possible. So our videos aren't working. I'm gonna switch it up here for a second, but I wanna show you an example because I think that the best way to see it is to see it in action.
You can be all fancy, save money, and stay away from all the drugs. You can make a profit or be the broke guy and live off somebody else. Or you can start saving up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the taxes do when they're added to your bill. Left from the job site with no income, and now you're unemployed. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say. Don't let it all run out. Honestly, you say, yes, there is a way. Don't let it all run out. Honestly, you say, just wanna see you, just wanna see you, just wanna see you. See you, say, just wanna see you, just wanna see you, just wanna see you. Everybody's been there, everybody gets scared of a down economy. Drowning in her tears, my funds are disappearing. Now low with my money. Don't run, just stop spending your funds. Maybe there's a way out of debt in the end. When you're not in debt, you can make investments. Show me
I have tons of them. They're all on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and look at them. And if you're trying to get inspired. Now, while you were watching these, I was watching all of you. And what happens is the same thing that happens in the classroom. I can show them a million slides. I can tell them about demand and supply curve shifts. But if I show them a video, particularly a video of their peers, when they're like, oh, I know that person, and oh, I know that person, they're going to be more engaged and more willing to pay attention. So at the start of class, I normally show them a video all semester, so it's getting them excited about doing the project at the end. And by the time we get to the time where I actually announce the project and give them the rules, they're ready to go. They already have their teams formed, they already know what song they're gonna do, and then I can use it the following semester to enhance the teaching, so you're closing the loop, right? You're getting the information and bringing it back. So I can use it the next semester with my students to continue on the learning process. So I like to compete, and I like to compete with a lot of people who are in here. I'm just naturally kind of a competitive person, and so we do things like with the memes and with the selfies and so on. We do actual contests, and we run, and we try to find somebody who will sponsor like a $25 gift card or $50 iTunes card or some little token of appreciation, and we like to run contests against other universities because it's lots of fun to say that my university is better than your university, right? So I run an in-house contest for my students. I pay out of pocket, and I say, look, it's worth it to me. It's kind of like live American Idol. It's worth it to me for you to shoot these videos and for me to get to watch them, because the ones that are good are really enjoyable, and the ones that are bad are also really enjoyable, right, for different reasons. So I put up some money. It doesn't take much, you know. I say like $50 for the first prize, $25 for the second prize, or something like that. Or if you have a lot more disposable income, you can raise your prices. But I say, I want you to do this video project, and I'm going to let you compete across all my classes. So I normally teach 2 sections of micro and 2 sections of macro. They can form their groups across any of the sections, and I pick my top 3. So I'm the first gatekeeper, and then we vote as a class on who should be our winner overall for our semester for our school. Then a couple of years ago, I thought, well, maybe we should run this as a national contest, and we can get other universities involved. And so for the last 2 years, myself and Selena, who talked yesterday, and Adam Hoffer at University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, and Abdullah Albarani, who's at Northern Kentucky, we have competed, and we have begged and asked other people to compete, and so I'm going to beg and ask you to compete with us this year. The deadline is November 21st. I'll give you the information in a second. I still want to win, but we compete, and then we put it out to the world, and we look at YouTube counts, and we look at the number of votes, and we pick a national winner. And our national winner is sponsored by Worth, and they give some gift cards, and we send them out to our students, and they say, look, the publishers care about you, right? And they care about the content that you're creating, and the students take it very seriously. So now that I've been teaching for a while at the university, they know that I'm the one who does the videos, and so they come in with a plan, and they come in a lot of times in the first day, first week of class, and say, I just want you to know I'm winning the contest this year, right? And so they already know what they're gonna do. On my end, it's very little work because I give the instruction sheet to the students, and then I tell them to figure it out, right? I have an 11-year-old son. He can make a music video, so can you. And just like in the real world, okay, you're not always going to be given a step-by-step recipe of how to do it. You're going to have to go and Google how to make a video, go in and Google how to put lyrics on a video. And I've always been really surprised and really impressed with what I've been given from students. If they want to talk to me about something, I can give them some tips of what people have done in the past. But as far as time and cost, I don't do anything other than provide some little prizes to get them started. So my question for you, if you want to join us, we'd love to have you. Our deadline is November 21st, so I'll give you one of my cards today, and you can email me your entry. So I normally prefer a YouTube link, and then we'll put you in the national contest. It is being sponsored again by Worth. And if you want to see my instructions, what I give my students, it's there under the sample assignment. If you want to see last year's candidates or contestants and the previous year's contestants, or if you want to know a little bit about how the project got started and how each of us uses it a little bit differently in our classroom. So some people require it, some people have it optional, and so on. That information is in the About Rockonomix part. And then we got to revise and a resubmit from the JEE, so I'm going to be fixing some things on the website also. So if there's something that you don't see on there that you think should, let me know, because I'm actively fixing it and resubmitting it.